What's up, everybody? It's Supersmallchibiwolf, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, let me just say this. Um, I think this game, I'm gonna say, long story short, it is not what I expected. And to be honest, for those people who say demos of games are not, they don't really give the full experience or any of that shit, in my opinion, comparing this demo, comparing the actual game, it gives a really great experience to what you're about to get into if you buy the whole thing. Now, what I can say is this, that the actual game itself is way better than the demo, but it gives an idea what the game's going to be like. I say that because a lot of people that I've met that play this game, long story short, I have a friend who also plays this, and he agrees with me. And, some people try to defend the fact that, oh, just because you played a demo doesn't mean you should judge the entire game like that. The demo gives you an idea how the gameplay is. For example, in the demo, you don't play it like like what was it, turn-based combat like the original. You play it like open world and all of that, and you use the potions the same and this and that. From yeah. Now let me just say this. I think every upcoming video game should have a demo to give an idea of how everything is. I think that's good. Try before you buy, because let me say this. After playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake, it was okay. That's the best I could say to it. I wouldn't say it was a great game. I wouldn't say it was a must have. To be honest, like I'll say more about it later on. But let's get into the smaller details within this game. Me, I'm gonna be honest. When even though I like something, I'd still see. I'm not like a blinded fanboy, I believe they call it, or a fan who just would see everything and move on. If anything, I like to talk shit. So let's get into this video. So, number one, let's talk about the good stuff this game does, okay? The graphics, they look amazing. I love that this song also does good in music. In some parts in the game, the music really does give off this great feeling. It does a lot, and it's great. The graphics is great as well. I enjoy the new updated models of these characters and seeing the villains in the world. It was all interesting and cool. You know, Another thing I enjoyed about this game is that, in some parts, you see that, wow, they actually try to expand the world, try to do more with the world, you know. And that's the thing I enjoy, For example, whether it's the side missions that are actually fun, and which was surprising because in other games, the side missions are just like, okay, that was okay experience. Or sometimes it's really great, the side missions. I would say Full Metal, no, what was it? Metal Gear. I mean, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain or something like that. Like that game, that was a good side missions and main story. But in Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'd say some of them are okay, and then there are just some of them that were, you know, eh, it really wasn't that good. But I'd say there was more that was kind of not interesting, or worth it doing overall than those that are actually good and fun. That's the thing that I had an issue with, because if you're going to make a big game like this, and I'm gonna judge this differently from other games. Other games, okay, they are other games, but this game is a Final Fantasy VII remake, and it should be judged in a different way. You know, it should be held in more standards. Higher standards. It should be, looked at as. Uh, you know, so in my opinion, it kind of sucks when it comes to the side stuff. It should have been more towards everything. You know what I mean? It kind of feels a little bit lazy of Square Enix, and to be honest, in some parts of this game. One thing I fucking despise is, well, what's with the sliding shit? For example, when you go next to something, you basically just slide. When you find an enemy, sometimes when the enemy dies, I noticed that you either you slide or the enemy does some fucking sliding shit, which kills you, even though the fight's already over. Maybe it's a glitch. I asked my friends who also have this game, and they experience the same shit. It's like, dude, I can't beat this shit because every time I beat it, it just slides and it kills me, or some stupid thing happens. And to me, it happened to me 2 times in the middle of the game and in the final boss, which was like, okay, this is dumb. But what really got me pissed is, I don't know why, but there's three, when you get a game over or whatever, there's 3 modes. There's, what was the retry from start? There's this one that basically brings you back to the fucking mission itself, or to your last, check, or whatever the hell. And in my opinion, and then there's quit. Now look, I don't have an issue with, with try mode, you try it again and all that. But why, if the game's gonna be auto-saving, why the fuck are you gonna give the option to do the other shit? Like, I want my auto-save to load. I don't want to be, doing the other shit. Going all the way back and doing all that over and over. Like, that's just a little, yeah, you could say it's a little picky. But in my opinion, when you spend a lot of time, going through a big mission, let's say, especially when you're about to fight Sephiroth, which was annoying when you put that mode and then you realize, oh, I need to fight that big monster, the son of the president or whatever, Reno, I think, and then you need to go back and fight. Yes, so I had to do all three, 1, 2, all over again, and then eventually, to be honest, I just was like, okay, fuck this. So, yeah. So the last few things that I wanted to talk about before, saying some spoilers is that a few things. Number one, I enjoy and respect that Square Enix actually can, listens to fans and, does what they do, Like, for example, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a game that a lot of people wanted, etc. Right? But in my opinion, to be honest, okay, in my opinion, the original was better. To be honest, I recommend, if you really want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII, just start with the original. You could buy it in PS4, Switch, etc. online. On PC if you're... Yeah, you can buy it basically everywhere at this point. Even on your phone, I believe they have it. And I'm not even joking. Like, I know that there was like a little joke saying you could even play Final Fantasy VII on your toaster or some stupid funny stuff like that, like on your TV. But yeah, man, you could buy this game anywhere. So I recommend trying out the original because, to be honest, if this is going to be, if this is going to be the only way you're going to give a chance to these characters, that's kind of disappointing because this game doesn't really do it well. It doesn't really use this time well. It doesn't really use the combat good. And it's kind of a shame when they say, oh, we're going to put this mode, which is basically a tone-based system. But in the end, it really is not like a good tone-based system that they're trying to sell you. It is basically it's what was it? It's like lazy or weak or just like there's a lot of other games that did the open world better, like for example, and I heard this game isn't a Square Enix game 100%, the third party, etc. But Neir Automata, okay, Neir Automata, let me say this, like, Neir Automata is the best Square Enix game in my opinion of the 2010s, and I've seen the Final Fantasy games here and there, in the 7th gen, and 8th gen is about to end, and we go into the 9th gen game, and what I can say, ladies and gentlemen, is that I don't see Square Enix doing that great with Final Fantasy series as a whole, because this game, it just didn't, it just does, okay, it feels like it relies too much on small stuff, to try to hide the fact that number one, the small mistakes and glitches within the game, and to hide the fact that look, you buy this game that's not even finished. So yeah, it's kind of you know. And another thing I want to say is that a lot of times while playing this game, yeah, it could be fun, but you know, compare this to other games, right? Other JRPGs and or RPGs or whatever. You know, like you fight, you're leveling up, you use the items within the game, you have fun. But when it comes to Final Fantasy VII remakes, in some moments, it's basically just number one, it's not that much challenging, and I was playing, the modes and different modes, trying out different techniques, different fighting combat systems, etc. I tried everything, and let me just say this: it could be better. You know, compare this to other games released in the past that are in the same genre, RPG, JRPG, whatever. This I would say this isn't even close to how great and amazing the other games were that were released. Say around 2010s, like from 2015, mid 2010s to 2020. Like that's how I'm going to judge it because that's more fair because this game came out in 2020, so I'll give it, judge it by recent games, So yeah, that's how I feel about that. But another thing I want to say is that um, one thing I want to really touch on is that the world of Final Fantasy VII Remake, they do great. And let me just give credit where credit's due, okay? The world is great. The way they build up the character interactions and each, computer or, civilian, let's say, you could see their conversations and, it's interesting to know their opinions and everyone having their own mindset. And it's like, so I'll give it some credit when credit's due. I don't want to just seem like, oh, I'm just going to hate just to hate even though I truly feel like this game deserves the hate it deserves. I mean, it gets because it does do some shit. And I don't want to hear like people saying you're just a blind hater because I did actually enjoy some things. But when it comes to the game as a whole, it really doesn't do that much. And also, when you also think about how much time they had as a company who basically could have 100 over 1,000 people work on this game and has the money and resources like a company like Square Enix, I'm going to judge it the way it needs to be judged. It needs to be held in high standards. It needs to be looked at as, look, this is what we wanted, and small excuses like this, we don't need to accept this from gaming. Games are getting more expensive to make, and I understand. It takes time, but when you get a game like Final Fantasy VII Remake, a game that long awaited and all of that, to be honest, in my opinion, I kind of got away from the RPG JRPG genre. Like it was fun. Maybe it's because, to be honest, like I still play it. I still play a lot of games. I've been getting more into the classics. For example, the original Final Fantasy VII. I've been playing a lot, but besides that, I've been playing The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, the best Zelda game, by the way. And yeah, games like that. So I do love the JRPG genre, the RPG genre, and they're fun and great. So it's not that I hate these types of games. In fact, I fucking love the original. The original Final Fantasy VII is my favorite. Then it's 9. Yeah, 9. 9 is, dude. Look, Square Enix. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I want 9 to be remake. I want 9 to have a remastered. All you had to do, in my opinion, to get my love, money, respect. And I hope you do this for 9. Copy, paste, and just update the graphics. I just want the fucking graphics updated. That's all I want. And just sell it for, what was it, $30, because I know how much graphics are worth. Don't sell it for a full fucking price of the game. That's the issue. Like that shit. Don't change the combat. I just want better fucking graphics. That's all. Now, another thing, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, man, because I truly don't have nothing else to say. I think I said most of the shit that I wanted to say. But I find it pretty weird that a lot of times, big companies like Square Enix and Capcom and etc. They will release a game with some bullshit, and a lot of times, and I was like, sometimes I'm curious about, some games after I played them. So I search up online reviews, and what I could say is that a lot of people, they don't fucking call out the bullshit or small details, and it's fucking ridiculous. Now, I'm not going to be calling up names or anything, but I will call up websites, and it's fucking pretty bullshit. But that's all I wanted to say. The characters, to be honest, they look cool, and their interactions were pretty good. The fighting sucks, and to be honest, earlier game, the earlier half is better than the later half. So with that being that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.